Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, this is not really a collection video. This is just like most of the cold steel fixed blades that I have. I just wanted to show you those because I'm going to be talking about something, but this is the huge monster. I've got a kukri machete, but I just didn't want to whip everything out. I just wanted to show you. I've got quite a few cold steel fixed blades. The Bushman, made in China. I don't remember what steel this has in it, but it has one of those Secure X. That's a pretty cool one. I just wrapped that with paracord. Alright, now, I've been carrying this one a lot. It didn't come with this clip. I added it. It did come with this sheath. I haven't been abusing this knife. I threw it into the ground a couple of times, but I haven't been trying to do any torture tests or anything. And I think the last time I threw it in the ground, this is as far as I hit. So we're going to do a little knife forensics here. Let me try to figure out what happened. Alright. So this is a chunk of this blade right back here, right? I haven't sharpened it. It's the original edge, but look here. There's like a chunk here, so it's like something impacted it. Maybe it fell down. If you look at, it looks like I'm just like, going crazy, on a pipe. But when I first noticed this, I started to fix it. I started to take my rod to fix it, but the metal was sticking out this way, almost like an impact, like whatever hit from this side. And then that's when I noticed this up here too. But this is carbon steel, this SK5 stuff here. See, SK5. I used to have a Recon Tanton that was in carbon V, which is basically carbon 5, but some formulation, of carbon steel. I don't ever remember having an issue like that. So, I'm not going to do like a lot of abuse test or anything, but I'm going to take some pretty tough wood later on and just do it with the edge. I'm not going to spine whack it and all that other stuff in baton, because if in normal use, you're just carrying it around and a chunk of your blade comes off, and you don't even remember how it happened. Now, it's possible the knife... I think I know what happened now. When I was out there and they had that big pile of furniture and everything, and I was throwing all my other stuff, I think I was carrying this guy. And I threw it and it bounced off and it hit the concrete. So, yeah, because look at that. You can see it's dull right through there. The rest of it's sharp. So, I didn't film that or anything, and all that furniture and stuff is gone. But because that furniture is, is foam and everything, it's like hitting a trampoline and everything. Unless you're throwing really hard, and then that's another problem. If you throw it hard enough to stick and it misses, then it's going to come back that much further. It's kind of like a rebound effect. So I had stepped back pretty far. When I threw this one, it bounced, but it landed on the sidewalk. There's a little curb there. Yeah, see, we figured this out. Well, anyway, I haven't sharpened this. Like I said, this is the original edge. You can see the, striations or something. Yeah, and I take those out when I sharpen. I put my own edge on there, even if that... Because I usually go up and down like this, but a lot of times I go sideways, too. Just to see where I've done it. But yeah, that's what can happen. I'd rather have an edge that rolls than chips. Because if you look at this, let's zoom in a little more here. If you look at this chunk, to make the edge even all the way down, you're either going to have to start going with the serrations, or you're going to have to take that much metal off. Oh, your new edge will be back here. I mean, if you wanted to keep it the same angle and even. Even if you drop it back, and you try to make it a more acute angle, you're going to have to go that far to get rid of that. Now, what I'd probably do is not do that. I just partially make that a serration, Just sharpen that little hollowed out part and then sharpen the blade the rest of the way. That's what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, I forgot, I'm like, man, the last thing I did was the last thing I videotaped of this was throwing at Jiminy, and I missed, and it was in grass, and it stuck, and it only went like this far, and I'm like, how does this happen? Securiax ain't that strong, but I mean, you can see, it's got like concrete in it. All right, yeah, glad we solved that problem. All right, so, all along I've been carrying something else. See, I've got it. It's kind of hard to see, but I have the Kobun! And this one didn't come in a box. It came in this cold steel Crayex. See, I was going to compare these two, and that's when I just saw that, and I went, what? How did that happen? And it's amnesia. The aliens have taken me. But if you compare the two, this is OS 8A, which is a lot like 8CR13, very similar, This is a Japanese steel, OS 8, and 8CR13 is a Chinese. A lot of this depends on heat treat. Like if carbon steel, if you Rockwell it up to be really hard and everything like that, it's going to be brittle. And this is what brittle looks like. It may be, good air retention and everything else, but it can't take the shock. And I think that's the toughness area. Well, anyways, on this one, there is a difference. Even though, like you basically got the same usable cutting edge or blade length and everything, this handle is much thinner. It kind of ways out a little bit right here, but it's almost unnoticeable. This one's much thicker. So you're going to notice that right off. At first you're going to pick this up and you're going to go, man, this thing is really light. The first 3 times I threw this knife, I did it in the short and everything, and it stuck every time. I mean, it is nicely balanced. The handle isn't too heavy. It isn't too thick. It doesn't get in the way, and I can just get on it. And it doesn't mean I'm going to make it stick every time. This one was about $45 on Amazon. When I was looking at my email, I put it on a community post or whatever. But they sent me a notice saying, 1 day only. Lynn Thompson signature one, signed by Lynn Thompson, laser etched and all this other stuff. Only 3,000 made. Normally $225. On sale for $175. No thanks, sorry. Basically the same knife. Well, it had more of a curvature type of sword type of blade. But look, blade length 5.5, weight 4.5. It really is light, man. I'm going to turn this guy into a neck knife. Because if you look at it, let me get all these other. Here's the, now I made this sheath a little bit long, admittedly. But here's the, Kyoto! It is longer. When you're carrying it in a neck knife, pattern and all that other stuff. I've got it attached to my belt. I'm looking around for the sheath. But I'm going to make a leather sheath because if you look at this, now, like I said, the blade ends like right here. And yeah, I could have made it shorter, but sorry. But that's the way it worked. I'm zoomed in. Would you zoom out? And yeah, you don't need much more. You can conceal that, but this thing normally when I do cross draw carry, it's the biggest knife I usually carry is the SE3, But man, if you position this guy just right, I position it. I have two belt keepers, and I have it going. I have it going on either side. It's kind of a pain in the butt to thread, and you need a thick belt. But this is one of those like nylon web. It's like a pistol belt type of thing. And when it's sitting like this, and you've got it, you know, it's not sticking out too much. But man, is it available! I mean, just from your hands, just like sitting from waist position, bam. You know, you got it out and you're ready. You're ready to play. You're gonna notice that this handle is flat though. I mean, you're gonna notice that, but that lets you know. Right down here is the same as your edge. You know where it's at, especially if you, however you got the blade oriented. You can mount it horizontally. The clip that this thing came with was a big metal clip. It was only on one side where it was secured, and I took it off and put. This is not on this one, but the one I got on my belt. I put one of these clips on there, and I oriented it this way, and it didn't give me enough position to tie it down like one of these. And this is a small C-clamp, or C-clip, two of them. I was just going to go with one. It would probably hold it. But I mean, this keeps it from the whole thing moving, because like I said, I'm going to make my own sheath. I think I hear a cat meowing. Sorry, a second. I'm hearing things. Anyways, I make them in sand mine and other stuff for, I think, like about $100 or so. And this is 45. It's got that Crayex sheath to it. And this is not it's a rubber guard. It's not a metal guard. So when it comes out of the sheath here, it doesn't pop. It doesn't make that really pop sound. And when it goes in, it kind of gushes in. And you can pre-position it. If you got your hands just folded in front of you, you can pull it out and have it. And this, I think, is well suited and designed for what it is. Lightweight, ready at hand, self-defense. It's not like the Recon Tanto or any of those other ones that are, have a thicker spine, or the SRK normal, with a thick spine and everything, because it's not made for batoning through wood and everything else. That's not what it's made for. And this one here, I use for my little do everything. I got it around my neck normally. But adding this same clip onto this knife sheath right here made it friction fit. You really don't even need the snap, but I have it hanging upside down, so I have a snap anyway. It's not hard to do that, but it is secure, because I thought I've been carrying it with the Secure X sheath, and I don't have a breakaway on this, so I went like this, trying to snap it, and that's when I realized, oh, you got the leather sheath in your dummy. But yeah. So yeah, I like the Tanto shape or whatever. This is my first instance with the SK5. Normally I thought, well, I don't care what it's called, 1095, 1075, 10 whatever. If it's done right, no problem. But as far as like knife issues and everything, like if this one would have hit, and instead of that chunking out, the whole edge would have rolled over. You know what I could have done? I could have taken a hammer, little ball peen hammer, and flattened that piece of metal. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit weaker, and sharpen it, but I wouldn't have to do the whole blade to straighten it out. Of course, don't throw your knife and all that other stuff. Yeah, I hear you. I was playing around, so I guess it is semi-hard use what I do, but I don't do it intentionally, but when I throw the knife, it's intentional. Gotta put it in the sheath correctly. Yeah, so there you go. I'll do a full review of this thing later on. I mean, you can read the specs and all that. the overall length and the handle length. But my initial impression, 3.5 millimeter blade thickness. That's not super thin, but this thing does feel. It feels a little bit heavier than a butter knife in your hand. You know, you can get some of those heavy butter knives, but it's balanced well, man. Let's see where it is. It's right here. It's right like on the guard. You can't get it to balance. Yeah, there. And you've got enough length, you know, to get around with if you're going to throw it. You know, crickets, plastic crickets only, because you don't want people for the ethical treatment of insects on your butt. They call me all the time. But yeah, it's available, it's handy, and it's inexpensive. And that's what I like about Cold Steel on their knives and stuff. You can go fancy dancy and spend a lot of money, or you can get something that's inexpensive. Same way like with Mora. Mora knives, this is the Fenwolf, but I mean, Mora makes inexpensive knives. They're made in Sweden. You don't have to worry about that. This one happened to, I think, be made in China. No, Taiwan. See, so it's not China yet. It's about as not China as you can get without being China. But yeah, they make a lot of, you know, oh yeah. You might think, oh, it's kind of plastic and stuff and everything. They're useful and they're inexpensive. And so if you thought, well, I wonder if I'd like that style of knife, roach belly. Well, you can spend, you know, hundreds of dollars on one or not. And yeah, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. This one's kind of an odd shape, you know. I'd rather they'd have gone with the flat shape or that raised skin type of wrap that they did on this one, or even the leather neck, because yeah, maybe it's ergonomic, you know. Again, you've got the V kind of reminding you, here's the edge up here and showing you where the edge is at. That's the problem with the completely round one. If you pick up a completely round handle, you might not know where the blade is. Is it like this? Is it like this? Is it like this? Which way? Which way did it go? Well, with these cutouts and everything, you're kind of oriented, aren't you? You've yammered enough. I got a new memory thing for my phone, so now I won't run out of phone memory quite as much. The internal memory is still screwed, and Chrome keeps gobbling stuff up, and a lot of it's in data. So if I one time I eliminated data, and that takes all your passwords and everything else. You know what a pain in the butt that is. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, it comes with this, and it comes with that bright, funky metal clip and everything. You know, that's right back here, and I took that off right away. I mean, it would have been okay. It's just everything else was black on the knife, but that was that and the mounting screws are silver. I mean, bright silver. So, yeah. But, you know, sound like I'm complaining, but I'm not. I love this. I love this knife. Non-slip checkered pattern. You got a little lanyard hole here. It's full tang, but it's like a stick tang or whatever. It goes all the way down. It's not a rat tail. It's a stick tang. But I like it. It's people. I've seen videos of people messing around with out in the woods and batoning the crap out of it and all that. And it does have this strong, you know, point here for. What did I throw? I threw it in the dirt. That's what I did. I mean, I haven't had it 24 hours, and I've thrown it in the dirt. One of the first things I do. So I guess that's my tip test or strength test. But yeah, if you throw it at anything that's object that it's the same thing like if you're blasting away at bowling pins with like birdshot or a pistol. Bowling pins are hard wood, and if you're close enough, man, they'll ricochet. they'll come back. They can come back at you, but they've spent most of their energy already. But it depends on the mass. I've seen a 45 ACP slug come back and break skin on somebody's breast bone up there, up by the neck, enough to draw blood. I mean, it didn't go through them. It didn't penetrate them, but still. You get hit by a 45, even with a ricochet, man, you're going to know it. Anyways, yeah, there you go. That's, like I said, this isn't all of my cold steel fixed blades, but it's most of them. And that was the issue that I had with this one. And I was going to elicit, like, how do you think this happened? What happened? And then my memory finally came back, and I remembered what happened. So there you go. Thank you for listening to this long-winded thing. I'll let you know how this knife turns out, but so far, I like the gold boom. And it came close to Jiminy. It came close to getting him. So the next thing I'm going to do is sharpen the blade, sharpen the edge, and make a leather sheath for it.
Fresh grass for your funeral.
But yeah, I like it. At first I thought, oh man, why did you get another knife? You don't need it. You got all these other knives. But something about it, just made me want to get it. And not all the reviews were good on it. A lot of people were complaining about it. It's too light. It's not like this. It's the perfect size for me. 5.5-inch blade, man. That's good.
Anderson is right there.
You can do stuff with that if you had to. So anyways, there you go. Stop yammering. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.
Soigu! Get them off!